Hi friends, it's Terry Stewart, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in the U.S. in Central Maryland. Welcome to the Global Share Fair. I'm so excited to share my project with you. I am away from my stamp room, so I have recorded this presentation for you. Let's get started. So my project features the Storybook Friends from the new mini catalog, the January to March. Oh, let me bring that in and see what it is. May 5th. So this is the catalog. I'll give you a quick catalog tour at the end of this presentation. Anyway, for Storybook Friends, I am a fan of rabbits. I just love rabbits. And so this just spoke to me, all the little bunny images. And of course you have some wonderful sentiments here. We're going to be using this welcome little one. I'm also looking forward to using the Easter greetings and the happy spring and somebody loves you. I think I've already used the hello friend, and the thank you very much is something I'm looking forward to using. And there's coordinating dies, and you can make these lovely frames. Today we're using this frame, this die that coordinates with this bunny, this little bunny, which coordinates with this little guy here. So let me show you my fun fold card, because I am a fan of fun fold cards. So this card looks like a normal card, except when you open it, it has two panels, kind of a Z fold. So here you can see we've done cut that frame. We actually cut two frames and actually then a third in vanilla. We've done some die cuts with our bunny images and of course the little welcome little one. Now this back here, this text, that comes from an online exclusive stamp set. This Elements of Text, and we're using this image. There's other handwritten text, kind of in a circle, some typewritten text, and of course splatters, which I'm a big fan of those in cards. We're not using them on this card, but I am a fan of that. Online exclusive, you can see that online, and they're only available online. So let me move some things around and bring in my supplies. So you can ask the demonstrator who invited you to the Share Fair for the PDF, and it'll have all photos, supply list, everything you need to recreate this project as well as all the rest in this Share Fair. So I am using a scrap of very vanilla, a scrap of basic white, a scrap of Lost Lagoon. Now my sample card, I use the base in Pretty Peacock. I'm going to change it up a bit and we'll be using Daffodil Delight, which I've already scored. So it's a half a sheet. So this is 5.5 by 8.5 for my Imperial Friends, and it is 14.9 by 21 centimeters for my Metric Friends. I've scored it in half and then scored it again. Imperial, that would be 2 1/8 by 4 1/4. My Metric Friends, that is 5.3 and at 10.5 centimeters. Then I have a small piece of basic beige, 2 pieces of DSP. Now this DSP coordinates with the Storybook Friends. This pack, let me see, it's called Storybook Moments. It's a specialty pack, and it's wonderful. So you get 2 sheets of these small, let me see if I can move some of this DSP out of the way, some of these patterns out of the way. So you get 2 sheets of this where you can cut, and these are basically card fronts. And then, but wait, there's more. Of course, you get those, you can cut those, and there's various patterns like Peter Cottontail in the garden. Lots of veggie, gardenish type patterns. And then the back sides will have other patterns. And then it comes with 2 sheets of cutouts. So if you didn't want to die cut, it's already been done for you, the coloring and everything. It's a really great specialty pack. So the DSP, we have a 1 inch by 4 inches. I'm not sure the metric. Again, refer to that PDF. Get with the demonstrator who invited you, and I'm sure she'd be happy to share that with you. This piece of DSP is 3 3/4 by 5, which would be 9.5 centimeters by 13.9 centimeters. And then we have 2 pieces of wild wheat, and these are 4 by 5 1/4 inches or 10 by 14.4 centimeters. All right, so let's get started with some stamping. I am going to stamp on this to create our card front and 2 bunnies. And the rest of this will just be put aside for the moment. Okay, so with Memento ink, let's stamp our bunnies. So this is the big rabbit. I think of him as Peter Cottontail. That's what he reminds me of. And I'm stamping in these in Memento ink because I'm going to use my stamping blends, my alcohol markers, to color them. Oh, he's a little, I re-inked, he's a little dark. I re-inked my ink pad. Let's get him again, so maybe it's a little juicy. That's better. Okay, and then also in Memento ink, I'm going to stamp the sentiment on the front, the welcome little one. Let me ink this up. And then what's great about these photopolymer, you can look right through them and center it. Give it a nice little press. Perfect. And that is all the Memento ink. So before I do any further stamping, I am going to do some die cutting. And from our die pack, we're going to use this frame, this bunny, which we just stamped, and this bunny, which we also stamped. So I'm going to take my Berry Vanilla and my Lost Lagoon and go to my cut and emboss machine. I'm going to do 2 die cuts in Lost Lagoon, and that will give me the frames for the front and the inside. And then I'm going to cut a 3rd frame in Berry Vanilla, and that will give me the insert for this piece. And I need this frame so I can determine where to do my text stamping. Stamp that. So let me go and get that done. I am back from my cut and emboss machine. I have my 2 frames in Lost Lagoon and my Berry Vanilla, and this will fit right inside like so. But before that, I want to stamp on my card front this text. So I'm going to use my grid paper and center the wild wheat. So I'm going to lay this frame, I'm going to eyeball the middle. I kind of know that this point I want on the dark solid line. That will kind of give me the halfway point. I'm going to bring in my pencil. I'm going to make a mark down here where I know my frame, my inside frame is going to be. If you can see that. And that is going to help me line up my text. And this is my text stamp from that Elements of Text. I'm going to use my smoky slate and stamp this. So let me ink it up. Now if you notice, I have offset that text, so it's going to be shifted to the right. And so instead of centering it, I'm going to shift it to the right, maybe just a smidge. And there's our text. And I wanted it light. I did not want it to be dark text. And now with my Wild Wheat ink and my blending brush, I'm going to start with this where I've marked the inside frame, and that's where it's going to be darkest, and then I'm going to blend out. Let me grab some ink and then start at that corner and blend out. And this just creates a shadow, and that pencil mark helps me to find the spot where the shadow starts. So it'll be darker there and then come out. And that's what I was looking for. And I can take this to the sink and rinse it off. It's water-based, so it'll come right out and I'll be ready for my next color, and it won't carry the Wild Wheat color over. Alright, so that's done, and now I want to color my bunnies. And I am using my Stampin' Blend, so I have my combo light and dark crumb cake, and that's for the body. The ears, I am using Petal Pink, the light and dark combo. And then for the Peter Cottontail, the bigger bunny, I've got the light Night of Navy for his bow tie. So I'm starting with the light crumb cake and the bullet tip end. And I'm doing around his eye in the light color, doing his belly in the light color, and with this bullet tip, it helps to not go outside the lines, because it is an alcohol marker. The ink does tend to bleed outside the lines, and with the bullet tip you can really be more precise. So there's his belly, and we're going to move on to the dark crumb cake. And do his face, his ears, and then come down and work on his body. And you can go over the colors. Because they're alcohol markers, it does not pill up. It just layers on the color, and the color gets deeper and deeper the more you go over it, but no pilling on the paper. And we'll finish his other leg. And then on our smaller rabbit, we'll do the same. We'll do the ears, the face, arms. Now you can use different colors and really go over and over, saturate the color, but I just really am looking for a very quick coloring job here. You could also use the die cuts that come with the paper pack. And now for the ear of this marker. I'm using the dark petal pink for the insides of the ear and just putting a smidge down. I'll come back with the lighter of the combo and go over that. Over the darker, and it will soften any kind of lines and it blends in. That's what's so nice about the alcohol markers. You can really get a lot of shadow, and as opposed to the water-based markers that don't blend so nicely or pill on the paper. And now for the bow tie on Peter Rabbit. This is the light Night of Navy. There we go. And now I can use my dies and go to my cut and emboss machine to cut Peter and the baby bunny out. And there are my die cuts. So let's get to assembling this card. So I have my card base here. I've scored it. Let me crisp up the score in the middle, and then we're going to turn back on that small flap and use my bone folder to crisp that up. And then this, actually, we want to do this part second. We're going to build the inside first, and that will allow us to put this part down, and then this, when we come to our card front, it'll help us to hide that second panel. So we really have to do the inside first. So for that, I'm going to glue the DSP to our wild wheat layer. When I first made this with the, isn't that garden pattern beautiful? Just lovely. So you have a lot of options, kind of cards, if you want to make spring or Easter cards or a thank you card. This set really is an all occasion card set. So put our, oops, got a little bit of glue gooing out here at the end. Let me get rid of that. So I'm going to be working on this interior panel and gluing down my frame. I've centered it on my grid paper, so I know that this darker line here should line up with this point in the middle of the frame. So I'm going to put some glue. So I'll put some glue on the back of the frame, and I'm just going to put a thin bead on the edge of this. I could have used my adhesive sheets when I die cutted this. That's an option if you don't want to use a thin bead of glue. So with my panel on my grid paper, I line up this point with that dark center point line and There we go. Now, putting down this very vanilla piece, the center, I just thought that I could put a personalized message, welcome to your new baby, or congratulations on your growing your family. So it's just a personalized message. And then this little bunny is going to go down here in the corner. And I'll just put a dab of glue on him. Cute. Now, you can adhere this panel to the inside panel. Again, with some liquid glue. And then I'll just center this right, left, top, and bottom. Like so. So the inside of our card is done, and now we can work on the outside. Set this aside for a moment and bring in the rest of our pieces. Let's work on this front card front. Move that over so you can see it. Alright, so if we're going to dry fit, we're going to put this piece of DSP. I don't know if there's a right or top bottom. This is the way it's going to go, like so. We're going to put our frame on, like so. Our bunny is going to go here on the edge of the frame, and this is the open weave trim, and that's going to go across the bottom. And I know that this is 4 inches for my Imperial Friends, and for my metric friends it should be 10 centimeters. So the first thing I want to do is adhere my piece of DSP pattern paper. So I'll put a thin line of adhesive glue and then just put this right on the very edge. It looks great. And next I'm going to adhere this frame, and doing the same as I did before, I'm going to center my panel, and then you can still see the inside of the pencil mark, and I don't have to erase it because this frame is going to go on there, and then Peter Rabbit's going to be right on it. He will hide any that pencil mark. So let me center my panel, and again bring into my liquid glue. And as I said before, I could have used my adhesive sheet on the back of this cardstock, but I'm fine. I'm just able to use my liquid glue sparingly so it doesn't ooze out. And with that pencil mark, and let's see, use my pencil mark and my guideline. Bring my frame, put that in place. Now for my mesh, it's an open weave, so I can lay that across, and then I know that I want my sentiment to go here, and I'm going to secure it with dimensionals, and that will hold both the mesh down to the cardstock and the sentiment on top. Kind of close together because I know that these pieces will fit like that. And this piece, I have cut the edges. So if I and then I can use this to get the same angle, that piece over here. Just slide it down and then using my snips follow that. And it gives you the same angle. Nifty little trick, right? I know. And then that's going to go there. And then Peter Rabbit's here. We're going to put some dimensionals on Peter Rabbit. And I want them on the left side just because of this frame. I don't want, if I put a dimensional on top of the frame, it's going to be extra height. I don't want him to be wonky, so I'll just put my dimensionals on the left side. So there's a large one down there. And then I have bring in some mini dimensionals, which are just perfect for this. And put some on his ear. And then just a little bit of glue on the frame to hold Peter Rabbit. Okay. Remove my dimensional covers. And he's going to stand right here on the edge of this frame. Like so. Okay. And now we can remove these dimensional covers and secure the sentiment. And that looks about centered right there. And now we're almost done. So this will lay right on top, and if we cover the bottom panel, line up the corners on the right hand side. If we flip this over and then line up those corners, and then make sure that we only put glue on the left hand side so it doesn't go over that where the score line is. It'll only be adhered on the left. So line up with the bottom, the panel underneath. Give that a good little press. No problems on the back. And then our card is complete. So, do you prefer with the Daffodil Delight base or the original Pretty Peacock? Leave me a message and let me know which one you prefer. Okay, so as I promised, here is the quick catalog tour, the mini catalog, January to April, which actually it's goes to May 5th, but anyway, January to April. The Storybook Friends is found on page 24, and this is a sweet collection, so there's actually a second stamp set and dies. I used the Storybook Friends on this project, and then on page 25 you can see that specialty DSP with the garden themed, spring themed. It has the card fronts, has 2 sheets of die cuts, pretty cool. And then if we go to page 42, and this is with Wildflower Birthday. This is where we find that gold open weave trim. This is number 4. You could miss it, but I've been using this a lot. Really, really enjoyed that. So thank you so much for joining me for this Global Share Fair. If you have any questions, please reach out to your demonstrator. She would be happy to answer those and get you the PDF that goes with this project. And until next time, remember, stamping is fun. Bye.